What's up, guys? I'm Ali. Welcome back to another video with me, guys. Another hot video, another video. Guys, how y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight, guys? I hope that you all had a fantastic day, and I hope that your night is going even better. Guys, my day was pretty great. It was pretty good today, guys. It was a pretty good day. Humbling. It was a very humble experience in getting close to God. Also, give God all the honor, Lord, for getting out through this amazing day, guys. Give it to him. All right, guys. The reason why I came up with this whole title, guys, of this video, I missed the simple things because I just had an epiphany and I was reminiscing on old times and just how life used to be. How life used to be, guys. That's the name of it. How life used to be, guys. And also, that's the title. And how life used to be, guys, and just the simple things, simple, regular people, guys. We do not have that in this world. Where do I start with this? Okay, for number one, I miss the simple things. When you have interactions with people today, or if you go somewhere to a movie or go out to eat, go on a dinner or a walk or whatever, you don't have a person invited attention. Nobody have home training, nobody have home manners. If I'm your friend, and you invite me to come hang out with you, don't be on your computer playing games. If you invite me over, I'm expecting we finna go do something. We finna go out somewhere. Just go for a venture or just a walk, talk about business, or you finna show me something about business or something. And even if then, guys, let me have your vital attention. If we're going out to eat or or on a walk or we all hanging out together or anything like that, don't be on your phone. If people don't have manners. They don't have manners. They don't have home training or respect for other people that you call your friend or people that you consider your friends. If we out at dinner or if I'm going on a date or anything like that, do not be on your phone and do not be looking all over to your right and to your left and not looking at me. I'm just speaking hypothetically. I'm speaking the obvious. Um, we on a date or we out, we supposed to be interacting, friends, conversation, or we talking about business, just talking about positive things or whatever, or just having a good laugh, a good kiki. We don't have human interactions like that today. Everybody's always on their phone. We cannot get past the phone part because we're not connected with ourselves, let alone the human experience, let alone to be connected with each other and understand each other. Nobody take the time out, but everybody have all day, they have all time in the world to be on their phone. And a lot of people don't be doing nothing, they're scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, TikTok shop, whatever. Um, yeah, man, and like also another thing, guys, when it comes to influencers, guys, a lot of people. I remember back then, guys, when life was just simple. You know, you can. I remember regular people. You know, you was confident back then. You had high self esteem. You had a goal that you were trying to meet. You graduated. You had a plan. You had an identity. After you had an identity, you knew where you was going in life, you had a good job. It was just the simple things, the simple experience. The times you just come to your friend house, knock on the door. Nowadays everybody, they call, use their cell phone and stuff. I remember the simple times, just being on the phone for hours, just talking, really having a human experience and getting to know a person. It don't exist today, guys. Everybody feels some type of way when they see somebody that's confident. But I remember at one point in time, everybody was confident. But the thing was, guys, it was a lot of people that was at the top that was very educated, that knew what it was going in life, and something broke them down to the point they never got back up from it. So they just like zombies, like the affection. That one person got broken down, so they got butt hurt. They got scarred. So what they decided to do is affect somebody else and bring them down. And before you know it, that person affects somebody else, and that person affects somebody else because of their trauma or whatever, and the things that occur within their life. You know. So it's like spread it everywhere. So now you got a bunch of people that's running around that's broken. You know, it's like a virus in a way. So I remember those times, guys. Well, life was just so much simple, you know. I just remember the times where everybody had themselves together, you know. Everybody had nice cars. People weren't so toxic back then. Today, majority of the people are toxic for no reason. You can ask them; they don't even have a reason why they're toxic. Um, and a lot of people holding on things they never let go of. A lot of people holding on things that somebody said to them, and they just ball it up and hold on to it. They never let it go. They never forgot it. You know. And that person that said something to them had the best interest for them, but they ego and how they look at life, they took it the wrong way. Instead of them looking at it from a positive standpoint or perspective, they turned it and turned it into something bad because that's how they see things. That's how they look at things. That's how they vision things. You know? That's what they see within their lens, guys. um so yeah, that's what happened. And I remember everybody was confident at one point. Nobody had no reason to feel insecure about each other. You know? Everybody was dressed up. Everybody looked nice. Everybody looked well put together. Everybody had light within themselves. Now, light doesn't exist. I remember at one point, you know, if you was HOE, you let it be known, you know. You didn't waste nobody's time. You let it be known right off the bat what you wanted and what you was looking for, you know. You ain't shoot that, you know, the shit with people. Excuse my French. But that's the truth. Nowadays, you would have people that you would meet, guys. You would meet people, and these people will waste your time just for something so simple they just could have asked. Oh, you want to borrow some money? You could have asked for that. Why you steal it? Or if you wanted to have sex, why you trying to take advantage of me? Why you ain't just ask for that? You know what I'm saying? You needed a ride. Why you yelling and screaming? Why you just ask? Why you doing the most? Why you being so extra about it? You needed somewhere to stay. Why you beating around the bush? Why won't you just ask? Why you going in circles? Why you making me feel bad for you? Just ask. That people ego is ridiculous today, guys. Man, it freaking sucks. It freaking sucks, man. And and I just miss how life used to be, man. It's not like how it is today. Nobody's like really authentic for real. Everybody have problems. Wish we all have problems, but dang. I remember when people that used to have problems, they didn't used to let their problems stop them or hold them back. You know. Nowadays, people have problems, they let their problems stop them. They just throw in the towel, give up on life, and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do everything that other people want me to do. If I can feel accepted by the community, my relatives, my family, I'm gonna do what they want instead of what I want. Life ain't used to be like that, you know. I remember, I remember at one point in life, guys, where we used to have real conversation. I remember at one point in life, it wasn't acceptable to have child molesters and people that do these horrible things to kids because people could relate and understand because they had kids. Nowadays, people don't even want to have the conversation. So when people talk about things when it comes to kids, I only can imagine if that was their kid, how would they feel? They wouldn't even care because they don't even care about the kids out here on the street. Kids today, guys, don't have guidance. They don't have influencers. They don't have nobody can teach them about life. And it's really hard. It's really crazy, really. And we have influencers, but how influencers are supposed to be and how they was back then and how they are now. A real influencer is somebody that goes around and spread positive messages to kids, go to school, go to colleges, talking to people, teaching them about life and how life can be, teaching them from their mistakes and just showing them the route to where they want to be. If you want to be successful, I'm going to tell you what you need to do. I'm going to help you get there. You used to have influence that go around to places, to communicate, to communities, to colleges, and just events, business events. Nowadays we don't have influencers. All the influencers, they think they influencers, but they're not influencers. Just because you got a fitness certification, you're not an influencer. You're just looking for money. If a real influencer is somebody that do something for free, they're not charging. That's a real influencer. If you're really genuine, have good intention, you'll do it for free first, for anything. People are just looking out for, they want money. They just selling themselves on the internet, but you do have some good people on the internet that are influencers, and they do have good interest, and they are spreading a good message to the people out there in the world. But some of them, they just want money. They're not influenced because they're not making change within the world or within other people's lives or impacting other people's lives. That's an influencer. They change. They help people. They give them guidance. They spread good messages, positive messages. Today, we don't really have that. And rappers are not influencers. They spread negative messages. And they have all of the money in the world, but they're not helping no one. They're not helping their community. They're not doing nothing. They're not out here giving back. They're not out here trying to uplift the kids. They're not talking about Christ Jesus. They're not doing nothing. So you're not an influencer. You're a negative influencer. But guys, and also, it's so obvious today. I remember at one point in time, guys, when like, if you had a stalker or something, they was in the shadows. You didn't really know there was a stalker. Just like the girl next door, the guy next door. You didn't know there was a creep or nothing like that. but now it's obvious. It's like you can't go outside. You can't go into a grocery store, without feeling uncomfortable or just people getting this weird vibe. You could just tell who don't like you or whatever. Basically, the light has been sucked out the world, and there's a lot of people walking around with darkness, and they're okay with it. But it's not getting them nowhere, though. It is really not. But yeah, guys, man, I just missed the simple things. And I remember at one point in time, people, back then, people was the street about their lifestyle and what they had going on, and how much money they was making. If you was rich back then, you didn't look rich. You were just a regular, simple guy, Today, nobody have privacy, I remember back then when I was growing up or whatever, you couldn't tell what you had in your pocket that alone was in your bank account. Nobody in the street, nobody had privacy. People, if somebody asked you that back then, you'd be questioning. It's like, where you want to know what's in my bank account? You had boundaries. And you'd be like, oh, you're the police? Like, why are you asking me these things about how much money in my pocket? Why are you pocket watching me? People be out online flexing their money and their ego, flexing their ego. They don't have no privacy when it comes to their life. Then when somebody robbed them or something, you wonder why. You're supposed to be the street. Nobody the street. Everybody speak about the cold and hooded, but everybody actually is not showing it. Because ain't no street person, no street guy, no street dude is gonna be out there with it. You know, I remember you was a drug dealer back then. Nobody knew your business. And the people that you were dealing with, affiliated with, or selling to, whatever, they were the street about it. Nowadays, everybody out there in the world, they just flex their money, tell them how much money they got in their bank account, putting it all online and stuff like that. If you're rich, everybody know you're rich. Everybody know you got money. Back then, if you was rich, guys, you know, nobody really know you was rich, you know, because you look like a regular guy. You know, you act like a regular person. You didn't have such a big ego. Nowadays, everybody walk around with their nose up just because you got a little motion and cloud and crap on the internet. Not everybody think they're celebrities now. You're not a celebrity. You're just a person. You're just still a normal person. You're still a regular person. But your ego is ridiculous. You can have a natural confidence, a natural sex appeal about yourself, and high self-esteem, and you can still be humble naturally, you know? Meaning, you can still be that guy that go up to people and talk. You can still be that guy or girl that help somebody. You can still be that guy or girl that walk into a room, all eyes on you, but you shaking everybody's hand. You making everybody feel welcome just the way they make you feel welcome. You don't have to walk in the room and all eyes on you and just act like you just everything, that in a bag of chips. And, you know, like, it's like, why? See, I'm just not raised like that, man. I wouldn't even say I'm raised like that because I raised myself, but I'm going to say that's not how I operate, you know. I don't like to feel uncomfortable. But even though I feel uncomfortable, I can deal with it. But at the same time, I'm not going to make people feel little, you know, or small. That's not how I operate, you know. But guys, I just miss the simple things and regular people and just a simple life, you know. Guys, I'm Ali, and this is me signing out for the night. I just wanted to make a short video and let my voice be known and just share my thoughts with you guys. Until then, you guys have a wonderful, amazing night. May God bless. Peace.